Time to do a little brake fluid flush on my trusty 2013 X5, the E70 with the N63 motor. This is one of those deals where if you're going to do this, I'm going to assume you know how to raise up your car and take off your tires safely. Past that, you're going to have to remove the cover that goes over your master cylinder and the reservoir. And that is this piece here, which is held on by 1, 2, 3, 4 of these little locker deals, and you just get I just used a adjustable wrench. They're like a quarter turn to the left type deal to loosen them up, and you just jimmy that thing out. And we're going to be using old .40 in the old master cylinder O, because that is exactly what this says right here. Use only .4 fluid from a sealed container. So before I get to the bleeding part, like you can suction this up out with a turkey baster out of the reservoir so that you don't have to push it all the way through the lines to get it out. And I've done that before. It makes it a little quicker, but it's messy, you know. And if you don't want to risk dropping fluid down on your booster or on your inner fender well, or, you know, God forbid, on the outside here on the paint, that is good old Illinois road salt. I found it's easier just to go ahead and push it all out through the driver's side bleeder down here. Just push it all out. It's okay. It doesn't take that much longer, and it keeps you from having spills. So that's what I'm going to do. And here you can clearly see our little bleeder there, and that's what I'm going to attack next. Let's get it loose. And I believe that is a 10 millimeter bleeder. Let's find out. Nope, ladies and gentlemen, that is an 11. At least here on the fronts it is. And with that broken loose and then tightened back up, what we're going to do next is use the old Motive Products power bleeder. So I've got this, and then I'm going to use the adapter 1109, which is the anodized aluminum adapter. And this setup works real well. I don't ever put fluid in here. I just use that to pressurize the reservoir and then push the fluid out. You got to undo it a few times and pour new fluid in, but that's a lot better than putting fluid in there and having to clean that out and, you know, worry about it messing up your plastic and your rubber lines. So that's what's next. So BMW makes this really easy with the way they design their reservoir caps. It's just a regular threaded screw-on fitting. Nothing with the 3 tabs and you know, all the other locking deals on other master cylinders that don't work as well. So you just connect it to your power bleeder with that adapter there. That's part of the bleeder itself. And then we're just going to pump this up to about, I usually go about 6-7 psi if I think the cap will hold it. Here you can see we're getting some pressure on it already, and it's holding, which is good. My experience, you need about at least 4 to 5 psi to get a good flow out of the bleeder ports. That's about 7. If you can get 7, I usually stop there. I've gone as high as 10, but you don't really need to. Now we're going to hook up our little catch bottle here. This is the Mueller Motor Works that I got from Motive years ago, 6-7 years ago. I'm going to fill a little fresh fluid in the bottom, and then just slide the hose here over the bleeder right there, just like so. All right, now crack her open and watch the schmoo come out. There you go. And that is our old fluid escaping. And we'll let that run. See, she's pretty green. The new fluid is almost clear. When you put it in, maybe a slight greenish yellowish tint, but not much. And so the only real trick to this is making sure you don't push too much out of here before we put some clean in. I'm going to go down probably just a shade below that minimum line. And you can see it's dark. And it's dark because the old fluid is dark. Be patient with this. Know that it is not a super fast process. You can see there, it's not really a big stream that comes out, but it is consistent. All right. You want to keep an eye, of course, on your level. Easiest way is to shine a light behind the master cylinder, and there you can see that level going down. That old crummy, dirty green fluid slowly going down to the minimum mark. Like I said, I get a little bit below that. We'll throw up some clean all the way up to the max, repressurize, and we'll keep bleeding. And then you will see the fluid color change as it's coming out of this tube. It'll go from that green to pretty much clear. You can really see how dark that fluid is now in the contrast of the cleaner fluid on top that I just poured in there to clean up my funnel, and what's on bottom. Pretty stark contrast there, all things considered. And that's what you don't want clearly in your brake lines. So when you've still got pressure on that part, you can unscrew it here real slow and you'll hear the pressure bleed off. Don't do it fast or it'll kind of squirt out brake fluid. Okay, new fluid in. And now see how you can see the bottom of the reservoir? The max line, I've got it filled up just above the max line, but that's all nice new clean fluid. So now we'll tighten this back down on here. We'll pressurize this back up and let her rip again. And we'll let her rip again. There it goes up and out. And it won't be long before you see that green turn into pretty clear. Now, the more brake savvy of you are probably going to go, all right, well, how's he going to get it out of the ABS module? Well, I'll tell you how I'm going to get out of the ABS module. I'm not going to get out of the ABS module. I'm not using this method. I know you got, scanners and other various, interfaces with the cars that can activate it so that you can do this in here. Me personally, I don't worry about it. I've been doing the shade tree type repair for a long time, and here's why I don't worry about it. What I'm going to do after I get all this done on all four wheels, take the car out, do a few emergency stops, and actually activate the ABS module. Get the wheels to slip. As you're braking, it's going to push the fluid around. You're going to do that, I don't know, I usually do it 5 or 6 times. And the easiest place to do this is in a gravel parking lot somewhere. Will that work for everybody? Probably not, but it works for me. Then that old fluid gets mixed in with this new fluid. In 2 years, you're going to change this fluid again, or you should, per BMW. And then all that fluid, that old fluid is now diluted down to the new fluid. You're going to flush out the old fluid with more new fluid, go out there and run your ABS module again, and you will get it cycled through, okay? So if you're doing this just for your own peace of mind on your own car, and you're not worrying about it being a customer's car, I say it's plenty fine to do it that way. Okay, you can see our bottle's getting full here. We still got a little green, but it should start clearing up here shortly. You can see our fluid level dropping there, the master cylinder and the reservoir. So we're probably just about to start having new fluid push out of this. Okay, we're getting there. And a discerning eye may see that my fluid is cleared pretty well up there. Much lighter in color. That's kind of what we're looking for. Sometimes if the lighting is right, you can see it in your drain bottle here, but I can't really see it with the way my lights are set up. Kind of need a light behind it. But that looks like it's pushing clear out to me now. And pop quiz, do you know where the ABS module is on this car? And why we had to push so much fluid out to get to the clear? Right there on the other side of the car. So if you see these two black lines here, that one and that one, they run all the way under the cowling, all the way around over there. It's the two larger black lines that you see there, and the four smaller lines going out, I believe, all go to the wheels. All right, so that's why it just takes a lot of fluid to get it pumping out and clear. And now, as I've said that, come back and check. It's definitely cleared up, and that's great. Looks really good. In fact, there. Almost like we can see the clear sitting on the bottom now as it's starting to push out clear. And that looks good to me. So I'm going to shut this one off and do the same thing on the remaining 3 wheels and reset the computer and call it good. Well, go find a gravel parking lot. There's a couple around here that I know I can use. Slam on the brakes a few times, have some fun, and call it a success. You can do it at home. You don't need to go to the dealer. Trust me. On the last step of this, and I epic failed at not recording it when I did it. It's not going to let me do it again, but I'll walk you through it. You're going to hit the start button. Well, you hit it once. It'll turn on the accessories. Hit it again, and it turns on the ignition, the controls. And then you would hold down this little button here, and it'll cycle through the maintenance stuff. And right now it's not going to show me that I have any, I guess. But what it would do is it would come up with that red brake symbol. You would let up, press it again. It would say down here reset, and then you would let up and press it again, and then that would reset it out. I've already done it. I didn't record it. There's other videos, but that's how you would finish that up.